Okay. Just give me 5 minutes, guys. I'll just recap what we discussed till now. Okay. In 5 minutes, I'll do it very quickly. Okay. So today's topic is flows. So here flows is generally we call as admin automation process, and we use to automate manual actions which we do regularly. That means actions that we do keep on the same things that we automate it using flows. And to implement the flows, we no need to write any code. That's the reason we tell it as a admin automation. And these are the different scenarios that we can use. We can develop the flows, and we will discuss about these scenarios one by one, and we will see in our arcs how to implement these scenarios. Okay, so here the first scenario is whenever opportunity amount is greater than 500, we need to submit for an approval. Okay, that job also we can automate it. And second scenario is like that whenever we create an account, a support contact field should get populated with an email. That is the second scenario. And third scenario is whenever we inactivate an account, if we have any open opportunities, it should not allow us to inactivate an account. When the fourth scenario is whenever we update the type on the account field, then it should update the respective account type field on the contact. Okay. And the last scenario that we are going to deal with is whenever a case is mark it as a spam or created by mistake status, we have to delete those cases automatically. Instead of manually going and click on delete button, we have to write a manual process. So that is going to be delete. So these are the simple examples that we can use flows. There are many plenty scenarios also, but these are the few scenarios which gives you a clear idea on what type of flows we have and how to execute scenarios. Okay. For that, first of all, let's see what is the flows. Like all other things, we can access flows through the setup. Okay. Setup, we went it. And after that, whenever you open up the setup and whenever you search for the flows, generally it will filter out from the process automation. Flows is the one it filter out. But if you just extract the process automation, basically you will be seeing different other things also for your automations. Okay, we were just telling about like flows are the ones that we use for automations. Flows are the ones that we use for automations. Then what about the rest of the things? What is the use of workflow rules? What are the use of workflow actions? What are the use of process builders? Okay, what is the use of migrate to flows, automation launch? If we just use flows alone, then what is the use of having all other items? That is something we can first we should learn. So that is something, the example which we can take is process automations are started like Nokia phone to our current camera touch phone. So initially we have the Nokia phones with only call and messaging features, right? The same way initially Salesforce has workflow rules. So using these workflow rules, what we can do is whenever a record is created or updated. So basically set up flows in flows. So I can say flows are advanced version of process automations. Nowadays, we are using only flows for automations. But initially, we use workflow rules. Okay. So But initially we use workflow rules, and using these rules we can perform some workflow actions like sending an alert, send email alert, field updates, create task, send outbound message. Okay. Same actions that we have seen in the approval process, guys. These actions also same. Okay. Using these workflow rules, then already we have the workflow rules, right? Why we are again going, why we are doing the advances? So the limitations of workflow rules, guys. So it has some limitations. Because of that only, Salesforce has came up with the um, journey of flows. Journey of flows is nothing but workflows, then process builder, and then now flows, guys. Okay. So initially we have workflows. Workflows are slowly migrated to the process builders, and process builders are now become the flows. Okay. So now everybody is using flows only. Okay. And this May, we are going to deprecate all the workflows and process builders. That means previously, if we in your organization, if you have workflows and process builders also, they have to migrate to flows. Okay. So after 5 months or 6 months, you will not see any workflows and process builders, guys. Okay. Everything should be migrated. Even though if you face any issues, Salesforce is not going to support it. Okay. So first of all, what is workflows? Workflows are like approval process. We can write a simple rules, guys. Okay. Here you can click on new rule. See, you are not allowed to write it. It is suggesting you to create in a flow builder, but you can click on continue with workflow rules. So here you can just select an object and click on next. Okay, this is the one, guys. Okay, you are just going to write a rule room, and this is the one. When you are creating some record or editing some record, okay, and creating and editing it subsequently meet the criteria means, for example, the first thing is simple. Whenever you are creating something, okay, you are going to give the criteria. Okay, test workflow. I'm writing. If I select created, okay, every time whenever it's creating, and let us assume account type or anything, or account name, anything. If account name contains test, okay, any criteria. Here we are going to mention the criteria and clicking on save and next. Okay, and you can write some actions. As part of the actions, it's same. You can create a task, or you can create an email alert, field updates, outbound message, or new flow, or select existing action. That means previously, as part of the previous workflow rules, if you are already configured an email alert, you can use the same email alert instead of creating the new email alert. Okay, it's the same actions that we have seen in the approval process, guys. Okay, so I'm not going to tell much on these actions, But basically, workflow rules are something like that. Whenever a record is created, or the second option is whenever a record is updated. And the third option is whenever a record is updated that subsequently meet the criteria. Okay. So it is something like that. You need to understand the difference between those three situations. Okay. Created is very straightforward, guys. Okay. Every time a record is created. Okay. The second one is created and edited. That means the rule will fire one time at the time of creation, and the same rule will fire if you edit the record also. Okay. Every time you click on the edit button, it will fire the rule, and then it will check the criteria. If criteria satisfies, it performs the actions. Okay. Then there is a third thing. Third thing is something like that. Every time it subsequently meets the criteria. Okay. Creation is always, we can do only one time, guys. Right? But edit is something like that. We can do multiple times. We can edit the records multiple times, right? So, in case of second scenario, created and edited, that means the rule will fire every time when you click on the edit button, guys. In case of third scenario, created and edited to subsequently meet the criteria. Okay. For example, what we said, our thing is name contains test, right? If I give like this condition is already satisfied. If I click on save, so first time, previously the value does not contain test, but this time it contains test. So it meets the criteria. So it will do and perform the operations, guys. Okay. And again, if I click on edit for some other fields, I haven't touched this name field. I have edited something on the phone number and click on save. Then this time the workflow will not fire because you haven't edited this field to meet the criteria. That means if you edit this particular field, then only it will check the criteria and then it will perform the actions. But the second scenario is something like that. Even though you edit this particular field or not, if you edit other fields also, if this field is going to satisfy the criteria, so always it contains the test. So if I edit some other fields also, this will satisfy the criteria. Test, test, test. Every time it will perform the actions. So that is the major difference between the create and edit and subsequently meet the criteria, guys. Okay. Subsequently meet the criteria is something like that. That field should get edited to meet the criteria. Okay. Simple create and edit means it will fire every time when you edit something, and if this particular field meets that criteria, then it will do it. Okay, it won't check whether that field is edited or not. But in case of third scenario, it will check especially that particular field is modified or not. Okay. And basically, workflows will work only these three scenarios, guys. That is the limitation of the workflows. When you click on the button, if you want to do something, not possible. In our above five scenarios, limitations, workflows can call workflows, workflow rules invoke only when a record is created or edited or subsequently criteria met. Criteria meets on edit. Okay, these are the three things. So, no, I mean, on click of button, we can't invoke. The next thing is buttons we can't invoke. Delete. If we want to delete something, we can't. Delete some records, we can't. Okay. In our 5 examples, only we can use workflows. I mean, in our 5 examples, we need to submit for opportunity. That is not possible with workflow, guys. Okay. When an opportunity is greater than 500. Whenever I create an account, I would like to customer support email. This is possible. Okay. Because this is something they are asking at the time of creating an account. Okay. And none of the accounts should be inactivated if they have open opportunities. This is not possible because we need to display an error message to the user. So that is not possible. Using workflows, we can only send email alerts, field updates, created tasks, and created flow. Okay. Using workflow rules alone, it's not possible. And then account type field on contact. Whenever type is updated on account, all respective contacts of this account should be updated with the same type. This is also not possible because using workflow rules, you can access only parent records, not child records. Okay. That is the another limitation. Using workflow rules, you can access only parent records. You can't access child records. Okay. So basically, I'm just telling you guys, around 5 years back, they used to ask about these limitations. What is the difference between the workflows and process builders? What is the difference between the process builders and flows? But nowadays, nobody will ask you about the workflow rules. And you can simply say, I have never used workflow rules also. Because we have stopped using these workflow rules um, around last 8 years, I can say. From the last 8 years, nobody is using workflow rules, guys. Okay. Because the all these limitations are overcome through the process builders. Okay. In our 5 examples, we can achieve only second example using workflows. Rest all we have to write the code. Okay. If we want to use workflows, we can achieve only second example using workflows. Rest all scenarios, we have to write the code. Because of above limitations, Salesforce came up with the process builders concept. Okay. So process builders, guys, that is nothing but this one. Now we have covered these two things, guys, workflow rules and workflow actions. Now we are going to check the process builders. Okay. Process builders are the advanced versions of workflow rules. Okay. And if you want to try multiple rules, guys, you have to write the multiple workflow rules. Again, now they are telling us don't use process builder, go to the flow. Okay, because flows are the advanced versions of process builders. No, I want to continue to with the process builders because I would like to see how the process builder works. But I'm just creating it just to show you guys. But in your projects or in your real time stuff, you always see the flows. And you're going to work with the flows only. Oh, okay. So these are the two things, guys. The process builders. Process builders are something like that. If a record changes, that means when a record is created or updated, okay. Or we have the platform events. Platform events are something like that. From the other Salesforce system, we can call these platform events. That is something you can ignore it. Then the next thing is it is invoked by another process. You cannot call workflow from another workflow, guys. But whereas you can call one process builder from another process builder. Okay. I just checked a record changes. Okay. And here we are going to select object. You can select any one of the object when a record is created or edited. Because what I did is whenever a record changes, that's the reason it is. Okay. And this is done. Click on save. Okay. And add criteria. And this is the where we are going to just going to give some conditions, guys. Okay. The same way, account name check. The same thing that we have configured in workflow. I'm trying to check conditions are met. Name, choose. It's simply like when we are writing the formulas, right? The same things, guys. Test. Whenever a name contains test. So I have configured a rule. Whenever this rule is satisfied, actions. So these are the advanced actions, guys. Using workflow rules, basically, you can send email alert, you can call the flows, or you can, what else you can do? We can create a task, right? Or we can do the field update. That's it, right? Those are the only actions that we can do. But here, you can update records. That means this is nothing but the field updates. On top of that, you can submit for approval. Okay. So submit for approval is there. And you can post a charter. Okay. And then you can call an Apex class. If you want, you can call the Apex class also. And you can create a record. These are all extra features, guys. Okay. Using field updates is something like that. You can update the existing records, but you can't create the new record using the workflow rules. But whereas in process builders, you can create a new record and you can call an Apex class. You can post a charter message. You can call another process from this process builder. Okay. And you can call another quick action buttons. Okay. We pick something, we can leave it and you can submit for approval. Like this, it has more advanced versions. Okay, more advanced actions that we can perform. Okay, so process builders are the advanced versions of the workflow rules. Using workflow rule, we can perform a limited tasks, and using process builder, you can perform a more advanced tasks. Okay, so this is the thing that you need to learn. Sales up with a concept of process builders concept. And using process builders, we can just perform all these actions, guys. Okay. And another important thing is you can write multiple criteria in a single. In workflow rule, at a time you can write only one formula. Okay, whereas in process builders, you can add multiple criterias, multiple rules. You can evaluate in a single place. If first rule is not satisfied, then it will come to the second rule. And there is an option also, guys. Okay, instead of stop, okay. So here just if you can give another criteria, account type criteria. Okay, type equals to prospect. Okay. So if you want to execute like something like this, first is executed. If it is true, then perform some actions and then stop it. That is also we can do it. No, I want to check all my criteria and I want to perform the actions if satisfies that criteria. That is also possible. Evaluate the next criteria. Whenever you select this thing, it will just check it. If the first criteria satisfies, then it will go to this. It perform the actions which are configured here, and then it will come to the next criteria and it will check. If it satisfies, it will perform the actions. And if you want to perform these actions after a certain time, that is also possible using scheduled actions. You can set some time here. So whatever the actions that you have set it here, it will execute after at that particular point of time. Immediate actions are something like that, they will execute immediately, and scheduled actions are something like that, they will execute at that particular point of time. Okay, if you see it here, like after 1 days, like here you can select after 1 day of creation of the record, or you can create your own particular date fields. Okay, here it says days and hours. Okay, these are the two things, after and before are the. So like this, using this we can set a time, and these actions are going to execute whatever the actions that we can it's the same actions, guys. Whatever the actions that we configure in the immediate actions, the same actions we can configure in the scheduled actions also. Okay, like this, you can write multiple rules in one place. All account object rules you can have in one place. Whereas workflow rules, you have to write each and individual rule. Okay. That is the another advantages of process builders. Compared to the workflow rule, process builders has more advantages. Okay. But flows has more and more advantages. Tomorrow we will discuss about the limitations of process builders and how to overcome those limitations using flows. Okay. You can just try to go through your validation rules, guys. Go to setup and just see, sorry, not validation rules, workflow rules. Okay. You can go to the workflow rules. Continue. Okay. Actually, they don't have any workflow rules. You can just try to create the workflow rule and just try to understand what is the rule criteria, guys. Okay. Here, time dependent workflow rule is something like that. Whenever you want to execute some actions exactly on particular time, we will write time dependent workflow rules. Like in the process builders scheduled actions, right? Here, this is immediate workflow actions and time dependent actions. Okay. The scenario, I mean, the way of automations that we do is common, guys. The only difference is something like that of the number of actions that we can perform is the major difference. Using workflow rules, we can perform only 5 actions. But using process builders, we can perform around 10 actions. Using flows, we can perform multiple actions. That's the major difference. And workflows is something like that. You can see, for each and everything, as part of the rule criteria, you can write only one rule. Okay, that's it. One set of rules. That's it. If you want to write another set of rules, then obviously it's another workflow rule. But process builder is something like that. You can write another set of rules on the same process builder. That's the another advantage of process builder. So I'm going to stop our today's class here, guys. It's already 10 minutes over. So any questions?